Rent a floor buffer. Floor buffers are devices used to sand floor or to clean the floor. In large offices and buildings, the typical floor buffer you see is the cleaning floor buffer designed to quickly and easily remove the layer of dirt on the floor. During renovations and constructions, the floor buffer that you will often see is the sanding floor buffer, which is designed to sand the floor easily. Instead of purchasing a floor buffer for your cleaning or sanding needs, you can rent these in most hardware shops. Here's how. Use. First of all, determine the purpose for the floor buffer. If you plan on refinishing your hardwood floors, you can use a floor buffer with sanding capacities to polish the floor and remove the surface layer. This will allow you to put polyurethane or varnish on the hardwood floor. On the other hand, for tiles or marble floors, you will probably need a cleaning floor buffer that will simply polish the floor and remove the dirt. Be sure that you tell the rental company how you will use the floor buffer. After all, you cannot expect the floor company to guess how you will use the floor buffer. They will also not give you the appropriate accessories for the floor buffer unless you specify how you will use the buffer. Size. Next, determine the size of the floor buffer. For home use, a floor buffer with a scouring pad with a diameter of 15 inches will usually suffice. For larger homes, you may want to try out the 17-inch pads, which will allow you to finish large expanses of floor quickly and easily. If you are renting the floor buffer to clean an entire building or office, however, there are also floor buffers that have cleaning pads that are as large as 20 to 25 inches in diameter. Booking. Most hardware shops will provide rental services for the floor buffer. Keep in mind, however, that you will need to book the use of the floor buffer in advance, since these items are in quite high demand. The last thing you want is to postpone your spring cleaning or your hardwood refinishing job just because you were not able to book the floor buffer. Usually, the floor buffer can be rented by the hour or by the day. Cleaning solutions. Make sure that you get the appropriate accessories for the floor buffer. For example, floor buffers that are used for sanding will need a sanding pad, while a floor buffer that is used for cleaning will need a cleaning pad. Also make sure that you use appropriate cleaning solutions for the buffer. Regular floor cleaners will not work for the floor buffer. Finally, make sure that you ask the clerk at the rental shop to teach you how to operate the floor buffer, especially if you have never used the floor buffer before. Though the floor buffer is based on a pretty basic concept, you should still know which buttons to push in order to operate the buffer. Some rental companies will even allow you to practice moving the floor buffer around before you can bring the buffer home.